This is a complete tutorial on how to use the mixing cauldron in Hexerei in Minecraft. So first things first, how do we make the mixing cauldron? Very easily, it's with a Minecraft cauldron and a few other ingredients. You can then simply place down your cauldron. If you are using the mixing cauldron, I would advise you make a book of shadows made like this. This is going to be able to help you through the mod. Obviously, you've got me for this tutorial, but it still can be really helpful for certain things. If you want to put items into the cauldron, then you can do so by just sort of throwing them on top like you just saw. I can then right click on the mixing cauldron and it does have a UI inside. You can see the fluid pipe I just threw has now gone in there. If you don't want to do it like that, you can actually just right click on the mixing cauldron and click them into the slots, or you can use hoppers on top as well. All of these things will work. If I go into my inventory, click and then press U for uses in the mixing cauldron, then we can see in JEI all the things we could do with it. Let's start off with item mixing. So what we can see here is that there's a few different recipes we could do. Some of them will need water, as you could see in the cauldron, and some of them will need lava. Now, in this particular recipe, it's showing that you need lava in the tank, but don't be fooled by the lava being shown here. That does mean that as well as having lava in your tank, so in the cauldron, you must heat the cauldron with a heat source. It doesn't have to be lava. It can be anything. So underneath, I'm simply going to put a campfire, and my cauldron will always now be heated. Recipes that do not require heating don't mind the cauldron being heated. So don't think, oh, I don't need heating, should I get rid of the heat source? No, it's absolutely fine. If we want to add some water in, we can simply right-click it with the bucket of water. But the recipe I just showed you needed lava, so oops, we've made a mistake. How do we get rid of the water? Right-click on the cauldron, and you'll see this little bit sticking out on the left here. If you hover over it, it says dump, and that will dump whatever liquid is in here. I can also get a lava bucket and then fill it up with one bucket at a time, and there we go. We've got the lava in the tank, and we are ready to go. You could click this button in the cauldron as well to show recipes. You can see here that if, let's just do this one, it's even easier. If we want to make a sage burning plate, we could just add 8 gold ingots into here. And you can press the move items if you have the items already in your inventory. The little arrow goes down and over, and there you go. It comes out into the output over here, and you have made the item. And that's how we use it. So as we flick through, you can see all the different items, what they need in there. Like this one needs water. This one needs potion of regeneration. And then some of them will even require a moon phase. So like this one requires a full moon, and it can only be crafted at night time. There's also bottling. Simply, if you have a glass bottle, then I'm going to get our lava out. We could just use glass bottles. It's quite self-explanatory with that one. And now it is empty. Before we get into the video, thank you so much to G-Portal for sponsoring this video. You can get Minecraft or a plethora of other games on their library here through their Game Cloud system, meaning you can buy as much RAM as you need for, say, a Minecraft server, and if you've got any left over or you want to add more, you can add other servers from different games into your Game Cloud and switch them out throughout the month as you wish. They have servers all over the world, as you can see here, and give you protection from DDoS attacks, 24/7 support, databases, and the server is immediately online. If you're looking for a specific mod pack in Minecraft, you can simply search it up, like our Patreon server, which we host on RLcraft. You can see it also recommends how much gigabytes you need. I, as a content creator of a community, need to make sure that it's a company I can trust, and my server runs beautifully, better than even running it myself, and I have a lot of experience in running servers. So if you want 10% off your first order with G-Portal, check out the link in my description, and don't forget you can always join the Patreon to support the channel, and also join the Patreon-only RLcraft server. The next thing I'd like to show you is candle making. So if we go into the mixing cauldron, show recipes, and fluid mixing, you can see here we've got water. If we heat it, we can put candles in and it will convert the fluid into tallow over here. So let's do that. Let's get our water and then let's get some Minecraft candles. Now it is heated and you can see under here that it shows it's heated. Candles, just put all of these candles in and it's going to start converting those candles, basically breaking them down into the liquid form. And there we go. It's now tallow in the mixing cauldron, which we can then use to actually make our candles. So what we're now going to do, we've got our tallow in here. I'm just going to place 2 bits of dirt, just so I can place my dipper, made also in the cauldron, like so. What I do with my dipper is I'm just going to shift right click it against the dirt so it goes on top of the cauldron. I can get rid of that. And what we can now see is that we have a dipper on top of the cauldron. So I'm going to get some string now. And can you see there's these little nodules on here? I go 1, 2, and 3. And can you see it's attached and is now dipping the string into the tallow. And we're making Hexerei candles. It's going to take a few seconds, and then it's going to bring the candles back out. And if you're thinking, well, we've just melted down Minecraft candles, why would we now want to just remake Hexerei candles? Well, there's some very good reasons I'm going to show you in a second. And as you can see, sometimes candles may require multiple dips. If we look at the candle here and go to the dipping, so to do that, I go onto JEI, press R for recipe, and then dipper. You can see it says number of dips, 3, dipping time, and drying time. So what we're actually looking at here is all the different candles that you can now make. So you'll see here, it says affect speed, affect fire resistance, and loads of different potion effects. So, okay, cool. We've got our candles out. We can now just right click the dipper and I get my Hexerei candles. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to dump out all the tallow. I would advise that you make all of the candles and use up your tallow, otherwise it's a bit of a waste. But for the example of this tutorial, I'm going to waste it all. So what I'm now going to do is get potions of, is it not potion swiftness, is it? Yes, potions of swiftness. So potions of swiftness, I'm going to right click the potions into the mixing cauldron. So in here now is potion of swiftness. I'm then going to get our dipper and I'm going to right click the candles on 1, 2, 3. So I've actually put the Hexerei candles in, and now it's dipping those candles into the potion of swiftness mix. And it will, again, like I showed you, need 3 dips, I think it is. It doesn't really matter. It does it all for you. But it shows you, like, if you want a rain, go away, it'll take 3 dips, 7 seconds. In fact, do they all take the same amount of time? Yeah, they do, actually. Oh, don't these look beautiful? And then I can right-click the dipper once they're done, and I can get my candles. And you can see here it says affect speed. So when I place these candles down and I light them with a flint and tinder, what you'll see is some little particle effects. And then there you go. You just saw the particle effects, and I now have speed. These candles will stay lit for about 35 minutes. Now, let's say I had a candle of fire resistance. I could also put my fire resistance candle in the same block. So imagine the next one I'm about to press is that. I can actually put up to 4 candles in the same block, and they will be lit when right-clicking them in the order that you placed them. So you could have multiple candles of different effects, or the same effect just coming out faster, of speed, for example. And it works to about like this far, I think. So yes. Now you can also make a candelabra. I have tested this. You cannot make it with candles that have effects on them, but the candelabras can be attached to chains and things, and they will stay lit indefinitely. And you make that in the cauldron like this as well. I've just turned the time to night because now that we've looked at candles, one thing you can make with candles, oh, sorry, not with candles. One thing you can make is a crystal ball in the cauldron here. Do you remember earlier I showed you that some items in here will actually need a certain phase of the moon? If you make the crystal ball and then right click on it, it will say moon phase and tell you the moon phase. So you will always know what phase of the moon it is for your recipes that do require a specific moon phase. One last thing we can do is you'll see this slot up here. What we could put in here is a blood sigil. I could just click the blood sigil into here. I'm going to dump out all of my potions. It is heated. I'm going to jump into the cauldron myself, and every time I jump, you can see it's filling up and hurting me with damage, and it's actually filling up with blood in the cauldron. So you put a blood sigil in there, and then you jump up and down inside it, and you will get blood. That is something else you can do in the cauldron. Another thing you could do in there is potion mixing itself. So, you know, I showed you I put the potion of swiftness in there. Well, maybe you don't want to do that. What you can do is you could just put your, water in here, heat it up with 2 glowstone dust, and for example, you get a thick potion, awkward potion, etc., etc. An awkward potion in there with golden carrots will make a potion of night vision, for example. And what you can do, if you're using like something like mechanism, I believe, yes, you can pull out of the cauldron using other mods like tech mods. So maybe I made my awkward potion in here, and then I wanted it to go into the next one where I turn it into a night vision potion. You can automate a kind of supply chain of potion making through the mixing cauldrons like that. And the same with items as well. You could do that if you wanted to, maybe with candles, etc. As well. And there we go. That is how you use the mixing cauldron in Hexerei, one of the first main things that you're going to want to master. I hope that tutorial was useful for you. Again, do click the link in the description if you'd like your own server for 10% off at Gportal. I really do mean it. They are the absolute best when it comes to servers. I'm actually quite blown away by how good their servers are. And you can also join my Patreon in the description to, 1, support the channel, and secondly, to join the Patreon server, which I now stream on, where you can ask me any questions and request mods, etc. You can also comment down below for any mods that you would like. I do check all the comments on this channel, and I'd love to hear which mods you want to see covered next. I do have some shelves here, tech mods, magic mods, utility, and standalone mods here as well. Utility and standalone mods means it's not in a playlist, it's just a video on its own for the whole mod, for example. But please do subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and again, let me know your comments down below.